One of Boston's main attractions, the USS Constitution, is located in the historic neighborhood of Charlestown, minutes away from another historical site, the Bunker Hill Monument. The area personifies America's struggles to attain freedom from Britain.
The USS Constitution came about just after the American Revolution. After the American Revolution, the Continental Navy that helped us win our freedom from Great Britain was pretty well worn out. There were only a couple of ships left, and our merchant ships were going back and forth across the Atlantic Ocean, creating the backbone of our economy. And they were subject to various raiders, pirates, other nations who were in competition with each other. And in order to protect those ships, George Washington went before Congress and requested the funds to build a brand new United States Navy. And USS Constitution was one of the 6 original ships for that Navy.
Sailors on the USS Constitution live through tough yet rewarding lives riding the waves of the ocean.
Everyday life for a sailor on board USS Constitution was really difficult. It was work, work, work. The command was always concerned that if a sailor had too much time on his hand, he was going to get into mischief and get into trouble. So they kept him busy all the time, and a lot of times it was scrubbing the deck with a holy stone, get up bits of loose tar to make it shine. They would be doing maintenance work a large portion of the time, but they would also be doing school work. The Navy wrote into the regulations, the naval regulations, that any sailor who wanted to learn how to read, write, and do arithmetic, all he had to do is approach the captain, and the captain was ordered by those regulations to provide him the opportunity. But they also only got about 4 hours sleep a night. The ship was divided into 2 sections, port and starboard, or larboard and starboard back then. And when one section was running the ship, the other one was doing maintenance as long as the sun was up. And when the sun went down, that was an opportunity to get some sleep. When they built USS Constitution, they started from the keel. If you think of the ship as a skeleton, the keel is the backbone. And then from the backbone, they would raise the frames, or from the keel, they'd raise the frames. So from the backbone come the ribs. And then they would plank it over, and they planked Constitution both outside and inside. They had an opportunity to use the finest of materials, particularly the live oak. Live oak only grows here in the United States, and they would use that for the frames or the ribs because it was so strong. And those frames would be about 12 inches thick, and then they would add 6-inch planking to the outside and the inside. So when they were done, it was almost 24 inches of almost solid oak. And it's because of that structure that when they went into their first battle against HMS Guerriere and the cannonballs bounced off the side of the ship, one of the sailors shouted, "Huzzah, her sides are made of iron."
Andrew Jackson was president when Constitution came into the dry dock in 1833, and Andrew Jackson emerged from the War of 1812 as another symbol of the United States nation, similar to the USS Constitution. So there was a decision made to put Andrew Jackson as the figurehead of Constitution, so the symbol that's going to represent the ship and the nation out at sea. The only problem is that Andrew Jackson, by the time the figurehead actually goes on board ship, is not very popular with the local merchants. And so during one dark, stormy night on July 2nd, 1833, Samuel Dewey actually comes up to Constitution. He rows a boat and he chops off the head of the Andrew Jackson figurehead. And we have a plaster cast of that, and then also the original mouth. It becomes something that Samuel Dewey becomes known for the rest of his life.